Alright, we're out here in the woods today and I have a little bit of firewood left to split up and bring to the house. So let me show you how I do it, and by the end of the video I hope I've convinced you to try out an axe instead of heading to a Home Depot to buy a log splitter. Alright, so first off, if you're watching a video about how to split wood, be careful who you take your advice from. I've done this since I was a kid. I've done this from the age of like 8 until the age of 20 something, before I moved to the city, and I'm now back in the wild doing this the old way. If you're watching somebody who sits indoors splitting wood, or somebody who has his wife stack up his wood to split it, click away. This is not the place to take advice. Now, that out of the way, I think about 10 things that are important I'll touch on. So, number one, the kind of wood you're going to use. Oh hey, you know what this is? This is a termite. The reason it's here is because I cut this madrone tree that had some rot towards the roots, and in the middle of the tree there was some termite damage. So they're here trying to find a new home. The main reason why I can get away without having a log splitter is because I cut madrone. I'm in Northern California and we have Pacific madrone. It looks like this. And this is the best firewood on the planet that I know of. It burns better than oak, and you can find a lot of those dead standing madrone trees that are already dry, so you don't have to age it as much. You can just cut this and bring it to burn. Also, it tends to grow really nice and straight, and that's just ideal for firewood. Like any of those knots that are bigger, these are fine, but if they're bigger, you have like side branches, or if the wood is all twisted like live oak does, that thing is much harder to split, and yeah, it will take much more effort. But madrone, you just look at it, it splits so easy. So the type of wood you burn definitely helps. So I've done this, I did this yesterday for I think 2/3 of the wood. You need a solid base. You know, I'm up here in the woods splitting this because it creates a lot of you know, small debris like this. I don't want this to be around my house. You know, it's better just keep it here, stay in the woods. The problem is though that the ground is very bouncy, right? So you need a solid place to split on. This is kind of like the anvil to the hammer. Without this, it gets a lot harder. So usually you'll just take the biggest log you have and use it as your base. In my case, the biggest ones had this hole in the middle, so this is one of the solid ones that I found that I've been using. You can see the marks on the axe. Okay, so solid base. Okay, next up, the axe itself. Now this one is maybe like 4 or 5 pounds. This is probably not the perfect axe for splitting, but it does have this wider section here. So as a rule, the wider it is and the heavier the whole axe head is, the better it is for splitting. In physics, you have this equation: energy is equal to mass times velocity squared. So having greater mass really helps, but you can just get by without such a heavy thing if you know what technique to use. So this has been working great for me. The fiberglass handle actually has been great. This one is just Fiskars. I got it from, I don't know, Home Depot. It's been great. I've used it for 5 years. Definitely have had less problems than I would have had with a log splitter and used way less fuel. Next up, start with an easy log. Pick a smaller one that's nice and straight, no knots, nothing, and learn how to modulate your force. You don't have to go all out on the easy logs. learn how to aim properly and how to use the right amount of force for the right log. So doesn't matter which way you put it, just make sure it stands upright. This one is nice and easy. You can go right in the middle. Okay, make sure you have your legs spread, because you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that because if you miss, see where this goes right at your toes. Don't chop your toes off. So get your legs spread apart, so even if you miss, it's gonna go there. You're not gonna hurt yourself. All right, and you will miss eventually, so just have the proper technique. Also, this is not like some sort of reverse golf. Just go up and down. Don't try to swing it from the side. This axe is not big enough or heavy enough for you to need to do that. Just go up and down. Apply some force. You'll see it doesn't take much force to actually split these smaller ones. And we keep going. This one's a little twisted, but it can work. Now this one is getting close to a place where going through the middle will not work for you. You need to pick a side and just go in one side. So you can try this side here. Take off 1/3, then keep going. Aha, okay. Now we're in a spot where we got this thing stuck. If it's stuck a little bit, you can get it unstuck by just bouncing it back on the log. That frees it up. And try to hit the same spot. I know, easier said than done, but rough area is the same, it's okay. If it's stuck more, we can do this. Now this one is a bit more naughty. Okay. It's definitely a workout. Now when the logs start getting bigger, this one is straight enough, has one knot here, but it can still be done. You'll find that instead of hitting in the middle, it's easier to hit towards the edge. So let's try that. Okay, this one almost split. Flip it around. If I hit it right in the middle, it will split into 4. Almost. And you can see the knot is here, so ideally you want to hit it so you don't try to split the knot. You cannot split the knot. So I guess the knot is growing this way, so it's a bit harder doing what I'm doing. So let's see. One approach is to go from the other side where it's further away from the knot, so the tree will like decide which way it wants to split to avoid the knot. Ta-da! You keep the knot in one place, you don't try to split it into 2. Again, this is straight enough, you can split it in the middle. It's easier if you hit towards the edge. Sometimes it's so easy you don't want to over apply force, but then you end up not splitting it. You'll find that the further you are from the head, the easier it is to split. So if you hold the axe like this, first don't do that, but also it takes a lot more force. Holding it here towards the end gives it more of a swing, more of a speed, more of energy. It's easier for you to split when you hold it towards the end. Okay. Now it's the bigger ones. Now when you get to the bigger logs, you'll find that you cannot just split this in one go. Okay, so this is madrone, so it splits very easy if you're doing, I don't know, fir or softwoods. It will be easy as well to potentially try to do it in one go. If you try to do it in one go, you hit it. You see there's like a bunch of cracks. Follow any of the cracks, hit it here, right? It will be easiest. Hitting it in the middle, it's harder. It's like along the same crack, but it is harder. You can follow the crack towards the edge, it's easier. It gives you the best chance to do it. Again, this is a straight, straight log, no knots, madrone. I can split this like that. But if this was oak, where it had any twist in it, you need a different technique, and I'll show you in a little bit. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, try to follow the crack and hit from the edge. As big as I want them. Aha! There was probably a knot somewhere here. If there is a knot on one side, flip it over, try the other side. Alright, same technique. There is a knot here, so don't try to split this way. Anything else should work. Alright. Heart is out and the rest is easy. This is the knot. Try from the furthest away point from the knot. There we go. The best is when you manage to keep it straight up without falling. Okay, now for the bigger stuff. Again, this is madrone, this splits very easy. But if this was a different kind of tree, you get to the size here where, unless you have a really big splitting mole, this one is not it. It gets harder. If you try to hit in the middle, it will not split. You can actually see there is some figure here. This is kind of the heart, and yeah, if I hit it a few times, I think it's going to split straight in half, but I want to show you a technique that applies to any big log. Okay, so instead of trying to go this way with the grain, you go perpendicular to the grain. So you do this, you cut it here, and you split off a slice from the side. Then you come here, split off this slice. Come here, split off this size, work around, okay? Then at some point you'll be in a position to take the heart out. This heart here is what keeps the entire thing hard to split. So if you're able to chop all these pieces off away from the heart, you're in a good place. So let me show you how that works. So again, don't try to split the whole thing at once. It will just grab your axe. You're not gonna succeed. Try from the sides. So here, okay, that's one slice from the side. Now work your way around. You might have to split this again. You know, it's not pretty, but this is not about ego. This is about splitting firewood, and that's how you handle the big logs. You start from the sides and work your way around. Keep going. Work your way around. Now we go for round 2. And you can go around again if you want to. I think at this point you're ready to take the heart out. once the heart is split, you win. You're done. Ta-da! Let's do one more. Right, this one is a bit of a special case because it has this rotten part in the middle. Yeah, I could still go around, but I think it would be easier actually to split it right here or any of those lines. This is straight, I don't see any knots, and I think by splitting it here it's gonna split all the way across, and then we'll have just a couple of semi-moons to work with. Let's try this way. If not, we can always go from the side and then try splitting it. Okay, all right, let's try to do it in one go. Disgusting. Well, it's firewood, so. Alright, now we go around. There is a bit of a technique where you do like a flick of the wrist. So the moment when, this is when it gets really easy, but you want to actually succeed in splitting it off. So instead of just hitting straight, the moment you connect, you kind of let the axe shift to the left side. This allows it to push off this piece to the side while keeping this in place, so you don't waste your time trying to put it back on the base. It's kind of a very subtle thing. You'll get a feel for it after practice, and I don't think you can visually see it. One half done. By the way, I realized that you can never hit the same spot twice. It's just impossible. So, it's okay. That's it. You can see that this point here has a knot, so go from the other side. It will find a place where it wants to split. See, on this side it's much bigger than this side, but this is you have to hit it here because none of this would catch up and split. This is your only option, and because we're kind of running out of space to hit it this way, we're gonna hit it this way. I can live with that. Very good. Okay. We increase difficulty now. This stuff here you can never split. I don't care what kind of tree it is, you can never hit the knot and cut it off. It does not happen. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna split it in half because I see a huge crack here. It's almost split already by itself. Then we go around and keep this in one piece. Make your way around. This is getting closer to the maximum we can do. I think I can hit one here, trying to stay away from this knot, and the rest will be one piece. And that's fine. This is just the right size. The rest here is easy, the same as before. Just enjoy yourself. You're out in nature. This has a hole, but it's not as big. I'll go around first. Screw it. This one is easy enough. Try to flick the wrist when it lands. And sometimes it makes it stay on top, but not always, for sure. When you're doing it sideways, this is way harder to split. The easiest way is to hit it still towards the front. Sorry, the reason I was doing it sideways is because it was just too unstable to keep it like that. Like I'm not gonna hold this and split with one hand. I'm not that crazy. I value my fingers. These are all the termite homes. Oh, these are all the termites. They are not very happy. I wish I had my chickens out here to eat them up. Too much at the edge. Just need an inch further. Okay, now this one has a couple of knots here and one knot here, so this one actually will be a bit trickier than it looks. So the technique, peel from the side. That's all we need to do. Now I'll show you what happens if you try it head on. I doubt it's gonna work, but let's try. So it does try to split, but now your axe is caught up and you have to repeat this a few times to be able to get it done. One important thing, like if you now try to hit here, it's a good way to break your handle of the axe right here. So instead it's easier to pick it up and hit it like this to free it up. Alright, now we go around. Okay. Alright, one more time here. There was this knot that was keeping it from splitting off fully. Okay, now the only thing you need to not do is be like this and trying to split this knot here. That would not work. Keep the knot removed from you and take the heart out. Appears there are actually multiple knots, so okay. Let's try something else. We go around one more time. To hit around the knot, I think it might, it's actually multiple. Alright, through the knot, one last one. That's good enough for me. All right, last one. you also want a clean area around you, so okay, this one is semi-advanced and the other one is more advanced because it has this saddle point here, so that will be a bit of a challenge. We'll get to it in a little bit. All right, so the way to work with saddles is you can work around this half and this half. Anything you do here is almost futile unless you hit it right this way, so you split it that way. But let's see what happens when we work around the sides. This is the section in between, so actually this part here is easier to peel off. Let's keep peeling. Alright, turn around, this side should come off. And now this thing here should come off. Alright, now you see it's growing like this and like this. I think the best is flip it upside down and try to cut it from here. Here and here. We have probably one slice each to take off before it gets really hard. Alright, and now this slice. Push them off here. Well, we have one more log to split. Now this is an example of why you need a solid base. This can probably split okay, but it will be a lot bouncier. And again, it's a big log, so you start from the sides. Underneath is just mulch and dirt, so I'm not too worried about the axe getting dull. going around. Okay, and now take the heart out. Once the heart is out, you have one. Well, there you go. Maybe one more time. Ta-da! Okay, so we're done here. All the firewood has been split up, and this is why I like to do this out in the woods, because otherwise you'll have all this just random bits and pieces in your yard. This is just a mulch here for the forest, and yeah, I don't think I could have fit much more firewood in this gator. So let's go home and put it to good use. Alright, I'm gonna end this video here. Thanks for watching, and until next one.